Welcome. 300 Seconds with Mr. Ice. We are back here. So excited to be here. I've missed this. I'm already looking forward to next year when we have games every night. It's really hard for me to do my business when the Stanley Cup, but we are full force ahead. Florida. But I just want to make a quick note. I've teamed up with DraftKings. Thank you for DraftKings for sponsoring this. All new customers play $5 to get a $50 Pick 6 credit. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app today. Use my promo code Elio when signing up, and you'll get a nice little bonus. PJ, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we've done one of these.
It's been a minute. We've got a 2-0 series lead. So if Florida can somehow finish the job, it will make up for, a few weeks of the end of the season.
Yeah, you've been all over the place. You were just at up at Belmont for the.
Yeah, we were up in Belmont, Saratoga. It got switched up there this year because they're renovating Belmont. I guess it's going to be there again next year because they're not gonna finish. I was at the Brady speech last night. It was pretty cool. I thought the best part of it was actually the Randy Moss. He teared up. It was pretty cool. He was so super excited. Randy Moss was so good for us, but he never won any championship here. So I think he sort of always missed the boat and always sort of wished he could have been there. He was young, when you're young, you do stupid things. And I think he wished he could stay a little bit longer.
I saw Jay-Z did his song for the intro.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was extremely long. I walked the red carpet. I was interviewed by only one press team, and it just so happened the press team was a Barstool press team. But I literally, those guys, because it was the Barstool 4, obviously, the whole jail thing. So they were getting stopped by every which one. And I didn't want to just hang out on the red carpet. So I went right to the end quickly, and I was sort of just videotaping. The one big thing I got out of this, I was talking to my buddy before this, is that the celebrity thing, I could give a shit. I used to think meet this guy. There was 100 expatriates. The only thing I wanted to do was 1, be with my family, 2, gambling with Dave. And I really can't think of it. There is no 3. So it was a fun event. We got to sneak into one of the bars to watch the end of the Celtics as well. So that was fun. And now we got, we're getting ready for Saratoga, and we're hopefully the Celtics close out tomorrow. But let's get a couple wins in hockey. I actually, PJ, before we get to the questions, there's a couple guys that I think have been playing well, fourth liners for both teams. Kyle Poso, I think he's been pretty decent offensively. He's plus 1,000, I think. Anytime goal scorer. Also, who I think has been one of Edmonton's best players. I think he's plus 900. Connor Brown. So those two guys, maybe throw a few bucks on anytime goal scorer. I threw a few bucks. And I also threw a few, matching up parlay type things for the game. But let's get into the PJ. Give me a question.
Hey, Mr. Ice. Cody Pucks here. Florida. They've been dominating this series, and they look great. Barkov apparently is good. Everything's going well, and should be a done deal. I was just wondering what you plan to do with all the winnings of that future. Jinx.
Yeah, pay back my losses in the second half of this year. I was thinking about this second half of the year, obviously so bad, so gross. I'm going to forget that. I sort of, when you get in some of those losing streaks, it's just Do you take time off? I've been not accustomed to those in my first 3 years. But so yeah, I'll pay back because I took a hit like all the ice people took hits that second half of the year. So let's get this to come in. I really want this to come in to put a little dent into some of our losses and get all the people that say, because I work for Barstool, who DraftKings sponsors us, they think some reason I want to lose, which is crazy. If you could see my bank account from about 3 months ago to now, you'll know no bueno DraftKings.
Question about you and Prez. I know you got the rivalry in this one. He's got the future on Edmonton. You got the future on the Panthers. Just wondering if you had any type of wager or friendly thing going on. If one team wins and the other doesn't or whatever. All right. Good to have you back for 300 seconds, baby. Yes.
Yeah, there is no, I'm rooting for David for the Celtics. He'll make a nice, huge score. I am not rooting for his team, his Edmonton team. He's got enough money. I'm not really concerned about that. Every bet that he makes, I want him to win, and I am his biggest fan when it comes to that. Not this one. Not this one.
Nice. And you gave him the Panthers, right? And then he took the Oilers?
I gave him – he called me in a 3-day span. I have the proof. He called me probably 20 times. Okay, backtrack. He called me a bunch, not 20. He texted me 10 times. And I just kept – it was right before the playoffs started. And I was just like, I want to get the matchups first. I just want to see what they are. Why? Let's just wait 2 more days. Let's get the matchups. So the matchups came out, and I immediately – that's who I was going with. I was between Florida and Dallas, and I gave him Florida, and he basically went with it. I understand why he did it, because he didn't want to go through the Bruins. But when you're betting, I always feel like, and I don't bet against like the Bruins. We all know, like I barely use that game ever. Once we might be used a couple times the whole year. But when you get in a series, if Boston somehow beat Florida, I feel like it would soften the blow a little bit. I mean, I thought there was 0.0 chance that could happen. But I understand what he's saying, and he sort of built Barstool with the Boston teams, but he's in a different class right now. So, he went with Edmonton, and hell, shit, to get to the finals. And I think if Edmonton had won game 1, I think he would have hedged some out of it. But now he would need a couple wins to do something like that. And I don't want it to be that close.
Nope.
What's up, Mr. Rice? I just have one question for you today. Florida's current 2-0 record. How you feel about it? For me, Sergei Bobrovsky is a total goal-catching fool. He's my favorite player in this moment, and he will win the cup. Today, I want to see this with no excuses. Let's go.
I agree. The Florida goalie is playing. The thing about him, I always felt like he makes big saves at big times. He's a big time goalie. Like he is. Maybe he might lose some regular season game that, he looks sort of shaky or whatever. But like for my money, there's not many goalies you want besides him in these tight playoff games. This game here is, I thought Edmonton outplayed Florida a little bit in game 1. I thought it was a lopsided Florida win in game 2. So I think you're going to get Edmonton's best shot tonight. I really do. I guess Florida had a horrible travel day as well. But, gun to head, I'd probably still take Florida in the game. I think it, as we continue with this video, you might see, I think it might be a little bit looser. I hope it's going to be a little looser, but worst case scenario, if Florida wins any which way, I'll be happy. I'm excited to be back on 300 seconds. I can't wait till next season. We've already been in talks with IceCon 2, so excited about that. But, you know, as the Barstool people, as the people were talking to me about that, I said slow your roll down it a little bit because I really want to get off to a good hot start next year. That's the only thing I'm going to be focusing on. Of course, we're going to have a great time in that, you know, event. But let's win tonight. And PJ, let's hit it.
What it do, baby? It's the Iceman Paul Wall. I got my mouth looking something like a disco ball. I got the diamonds in the ice all hands set. I might cause a cold front if I take a deep breath.
Listen, let's try one Stanley Cup game. I got one play. I got one huge play. I got Edmonton over 5.5. Edmonton over 5.5. Let's go.